Y'all, the tea is hot today, and it's one of those stories that feels straight out of a gothic love movie with a Hollywood twist. Just when you thought Tim Burton and Monica Bellucci were giving us that rare, late-in-life fairy tale romance, they've dropped a bombshell that nobody saw coming. After nearly 2 years of being the couple that had fans whispering, swooning, and speculating, they're officially calling it quits. Yes, you heard that right. Tim Burton, the dark genius behind Edward Scissorhands and Beetlejuice, and Monica Bellucci, the Italian screen goddess with timeless beauty, have decided to part ways. And while their joint statement is giving amicable and respectful, y'all know that behind the carefully crafted words, there's always more to the story. So grab your popcorn, because this breakup is not just about two celebrities. It's about love, timing, power, and maybe even secrets we haven't uncovered yet. The fairy tale beginning. Let's rewind for a second, because to understand why this split stings so much, we have to remember how magical their beginning seemed. October 2023, Rome Film Festival. The world's cameras flashing, the red carpet rolling, and there they were, stepping out together like a couple pulled straight from a cinematic dream. Monica in that iconic, effortlessly elegant black gown, and Tim in his signature dark, eccentric suit. Fans were living for the unexpected pairing. He was the mysterious storyteller who turned darkness into art, and she was the goddess who redefined sensuality for decades. But the truth is, they'd actually crossed paths long before. Picture it. Cannes Film Festival 2006. They weren't ready then. Monica was still deep in her marriage with Vincent Cassel, and Tim was tied to Helena Bonham Carter, his muse and partner of 13 years. Life had other plans. It wasn't until years later, after heartbreak and growth, that they found themselves drawn together. Monica herself admitted it. She told Elle France in June 2023, months before their red carpet debut, that meeting Tim was like one of those rare encounters you get maybe once in a lifetime. She said, "I know the man, I love him. Now I'm going to meet the director. It's another adventure." Y'all, that wasn't just a quote. That was a declaration. That was a woman in love speaking straight from her soul. The social media explosion. So when news hit today that they're done, social media went into absolute meltdown. One fan tweeted, "First Taylor and Joe, now Monica and Tim. Love really is dead in 2025. Another wrote, "If Monica Bellucci can't keep Tim Burton, what hope do the rest of us have?" And y'all, the Instagram comments are a whole other reality show. Heartbroken emojis everywhere, fans begging for an explanation, and of course, the conspiracy theories. Some fans are convinced this is all about creative differences. Y'all know Tim has been knee-deep in Beetlejuice 2 and juggling projects that take him into his own dark, isolated world. Others say Monica, at 60, is stepping into a new chapter of her life. More independent, more self-focused, less willing to compromise for someone else's chaos. And then there are the shadier whispers that maybe, just maybe, this wasn't as peaceful a split as that press release wants us to believe. Cryptic posts and symbols. And here's where it gets juicier. Just hours before the breakup news went public, Monica posted a photo on Instagram, black and white, moody lighting. Her staring out a window with the caption, "Endings are just beginnings in disguise." Y'all, tell me that's not a breakup anthem. Fans flooded the comments like, "Sis, blink twice if Tim messed up." Meanwhile, Tim? Silent, not a peep. No Instagram statement, no moody doodles, nothing. And if you know Tim Burton, you know silence is his language, but silence also speaks volumes. And here's another layer. Eagle-eyed fans noticed Monica had recently liked a string of quotes about letting go and choosing yourself on Instagram. Coincidence? Maybe. But in the gossip world, nothing is ever just coincidence. The insider tea. Now, y'all know we couldn't just stop at the official story, because Hollywood insiders are whispering a different version of events. And if even half of it is true, this breakup is way messier than we've been told. One anonymous source claims Tim's obsession with his work became a wall between them. Apparently, during the filming of Beetlejuice 2, Monica was traveling back and forth to see him, but she often felt like a visitor in his world rather than a partner. Another insider says that Monica wanted more balance, romantic dinners, time away from the cameras, maybe even discussions about long-term plans. But Tim, he was lost in his creative bubble. And then there's the whisper that really shook me. Another source hinted that Monica, who's been married before, wasn't interested in marriage again. But Tim, surprisingly, might have wanted more permanence this time. Can you imagine? The man known for gothic love stories, ready to lock it down, while Monica was like, I've done the marriage thing, I'm good. Talk about a twist. The comparisons and shadows of the past. And we can't ignore the ghosts of their past relationships haunting this love story. Tim's marriage to Helena Bonham Carter was legendary in its own eccentric way. They had 2 kids, lived in adjoining houses, and created an entire cinematic world together. For years, fans wondered if Tim would ever move past Helena as his muse. Monica, on the other hand, was married to Vincent Cassel for 14 years, and their breakup was messy, with whispers of infidelity and long-distance strain. She came out of that marriage stronger, more independent, more unwilling to settle for anything less than what she deserved. So when Monica and Tim came together, it felt like redemption. Like 2 people who had lived through love and loss finally finding each other. Which makes this breakup feel even more like a dagger. The speculation game. But here's the million-dollar question. Why now? Why after almost 2 years? After public declarations of love, after gushing interviews, after red carpets that had fans screaming, couple goals. Is it possible that they just outgrew each other? That simple? That sad? Or could there be more brewing behind the curtain? Some fans are already speculating about a third party. No names have been dropped, yet, but gossip columns are circling, waiting for someone to slip. And y'all know how it goes. Today it's amicable, tomorrow it's scandal. Another possibility, timing. Tim, at 66, is still throwing himself into work with the hunger of a young director. Monica, at 60, is embracing a different rhythm, selective roles, family, personal growth. Maybe this is less about betrayal and more about 2 life paths diverging. But even then, doesn't it feel like love should have been enough? The emotional twist. Here's the part that breaks my heart. Insiders close to Monica say she's been putting on a brave face, but behind the scenes, this breakup hit her hard. She really believed this was her forever after. She once said in an interview, "Love doesn't end at 50. She was living proof that romance, passion, and partnership can happen later in life. Losing that feels like losing a symbol. But maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end of their story. Y'all know how Hollywood works. Couples break up, then quietly reconnect, then suddenly pop back up on a red carpet like nothing happened. Could Tim and Monica find their way back? The final twist, and here's where the plot thickens. Because while the world is mourning this breakup, one little detail slipped under the radar. A European journalist claims that Monica and Tim were seen having dinner together just last week. No cameras, no entourage, just the 2 of them. Could this mean the breakup announcement was more about controlling the narrative than ending the relationship for good? Or was that dinner the closure conversation that sealed the deal? Either way, something tells me we haven't heard the last of this story. Because when 2 icons like Tim Burton and Monica Bellucci collide, the fallout doesn't just vanish. It lingers, it evolves, it comes back in new chapters. Outrow call to action. So, y'all, what do we think? Was this truly an amicable parting of ways? Or is there more tea brewing behind the velvet curtains of Hollywood? Did Tim's workaholic ways push Monica away? Or did Monica's independence make Tim realize they weren't aligned? Or, and here's the twist, are they just trying to protect their relationship by stepping out of the spotlight for now? Drop your thoughts below because I know y'all have theories. Is love really dead in 2025, or is this just the beginning of another Burton Bellucci chapter? Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more celebrity tea, and turn on your notifications, because this story, it's not done yet. And trust me, you won't want to miss the next twist.